Hey everybody, how you doing? I just thought I'd put together this presentation just so you could kind of have an idea what to expect when we go on this trip here to the Gunflint Trail. Thanks for volunteering to chaperone. I really appreciate everybody giving up some time to do this. Hopefully we can pull it off. I'm sure we can. It looks like some rain coming our way, but we'll deal with it. So we are basically in the home stretch of the planning process. Some have a little more figured out than others, but I think we're getting close. So what we're going to try to do here, if I can get this slide to move, is basically talk a little bit more about what we're going to be doing once we get up there. The long ride here, I've told the kids on the bus they're going to be like two to a seat. It's going to be pretty cramped, so they're going to be basically napping all the way up here to Duluth. I told them to try to wake up and stay alert the rest of the way so they can check out the scenery and kind of see what else is there. For a lot of kids, this is the first time, going north of Duluth, so this will be interesting. The trail itself again is going to take us longer than probably an hour, just because of the slow down areas, and we're going to be pretty loaded up on that bus. With right now we've got 38 kids, so we'll take our time up there. I think we'll be able to get up there in plenty of time to set up. I told them basically, here's the itinerary. They're gonna text their name to me when they get up, let me know that they're up. 6 o'clock, they're gonna show up on the east side and load the bus and trailer. Then we're gonna park. They're gonna park on their assigned lot only. For any chaperones that need to park at school, you can go over to the A lot and park on staff parking. And I'll just make sure that they have your license plate and model number so they know that you're part of this trip. Hopefully, we'll leave at 6:30. Make our bathroom breaks wherever they're needed. Generally, it's right just south of Duluth, and then we'll stop in Grand Marais for a little bit. So I know John's planning on coming up a little later, and right now I've got Jamie and Chris riding with him, so that might be a time where we're able to catch up a little bit, depending on what time they get going. But so we'll be in Grand Marais for a little bit, probably in a good hour, hour and a half, and then hopefully arrive at the Trails End campground by 3. That's kind of our plan. So what I'm telling them to do is pack as light as possible, get their water up there so they don't pack any water and load us down even more on the way up. Put their name on everything, make sure they have ice in their coolers, blocks are better. But ice nonetheless. No hooks on fishing rods. They're not going to have access to the trailer until we get to the campground, so they're supposed to bring everything on the trip, on the bus. I mean, for the trip. They're going to sleep a little bit and pack their lunch and hopefully some water. So this is where I think the chaperones, having a little heads up on this will definitely help. So I'm going to pull into the campground. I'm going to pull over by our campsites, and after they exit their bus, I'll have them assigned to a campsite. So they'll have maps. They'll walk over and they'll check out how much room they have and where they want to kind of set their tents up. So they'll kind of make a plan at that point. Then they'll come back down to the trailer and we'll start unloading. Here's the biggest thing: we've always had kids that just grab something that doesn't belong to them for some reason, and so we got to kind of monitor that. If they have their names on all the items, then we shouldn't have any issues with that. So they're going to carry all their items back to their tent or their site. They're going to set up their shelters and tents, and the chaperones will do the same thing. So we should have plenty of time for this. I'll go check with the outfitter, kind of talk about the canoes we'll be getting the next day, and then arrange for to pick up some firewood. So here's our campsite. This is the Gunflint Trail. We come in here, take a right, go through the parking lot. The outfitter's right here, and so we'll have to walk over there to get our canoes. We'll drive all the way around here, take a right here, and go right down by this loop. The campsites we have are 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So my plan is to have chaperones here and chaperones over here. Okay, so we're kind of spread out a little bit. And actually, I'm sorry, I was going to have chaperones down here by 22, 22 and 27. So the kids will be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's really what we have are 6 groups. Okay, so I've got them all set up there. And I was thinking what we would do is bring all the canoes in through 27 and 28, and then we've got this little cul-de-sac where people can park when they're camping there, and there's plenty of room to store the canoes. So we'll keep them there, and all the life jackets and paddles and everything, and then we can launch from these two campsites here onto the Seagull River. If kids want to go over here and launch onto Sag, which I think a lot of them do, maybe for day 2, they'd have to carry them all the way around, which isn't too far, and it'd be good practice for portaging. So I'm going to probably plan on bringing the bus right over to this area right here. Okay, and so I've only got one group of kids over here, one group of chaperones here. The other group of chaperones will be in 22. So I was thinking I would stay here with Jody, with Mike, Jeff, Matt, and then I would have John, Tom, and Felipe at least go over here. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out room wise, but we can check that out when we get there. The newest chaperone I have since I've talked to everybody is Mike Putis, and he's done these trips with us before. He's a fabulous experienced chaperone, and he'll be a great addition for us. So anyways, that's where we'll park the bus, and we'll go from there. And I'll probably leave the bus right in this area, and it should be fine there the rest of the trip. So I've got another detailed map that I'll be picking up from our outfitter, and we'll be staying right here, canoeing through Seagull, canoeing up through the Seagull River into Sag, depending on the weather. Looks like an east wind, so that could be a little rough. This could be a little rough up here. So hugging the shoreline might not be a bad way to go. A lot of kids express interest in going over to Alpine here and going up through Red Rock. That'd be a really nice place to go because it's calm. It's just a matter of getting back and forth. This is a little spot called Palisade right here. That is a really cool view. So the kids kind of express interest in checking that out too. It's just kind of a little tricky climb up there, but if they're careful, they can definitely do it. This is the view from Palisades, so it's pretty cool shot of Seagull Lake. This is out right in front of our place. This is where the landing is, right by our campsites. This is looking the other direction out towards Seagull, excuse me. Here's the resort or the outfitter all the way down on the other side of the campground, and they're open 8 to 8, $4 per shower. You need to bring everything along. Each group will walk with their chaperone on Saturday, pick up their canoes, paddles, and life jackets, and decide where they're going to start. So they should all have this figured out by the time we get up there. So I'll talk to them again the next couple days and make sure that they have a good plan they can share with you. And we're going to return all the items by 6 o'clock p.m. on Sunday night. So hopefully be able to get that all put away and kind of start kind of pre-packing a little bit for the trip home. Biggest thing is our group size have to be 9 people or less, or no more than 4 canoes. So some kids are going to go 3 to a canoe, just so we don't have one person just kind of in an extra canoe. So I'll have some information on these self-issuing permits. So I'll talk to the outfitter about that the next day or two and just make sure that we're able to do this. And it's not an issue. There's no fee. This would be the entry point for the Big Sag over there by the Seagull River. So it's just a matter of filling out the paperwork and putting a copy in the box and hanging on to a copy. This is a map that I showed the kids too. We're staying right here. Some of them express interest in making this long loop. Portage here, all the way over to Alpine, portage here, and I think we're pretty much done with portages there. So I think it's doable in a day. It'd have to be an earlier start, and then you could take your time. When you come down the Seagull River here, you kind of just take the right at the fork, and that brings you right into the access on the other side, kind of by the outfitter. So once you get back, there's still the walk your canoes over here. But if you're coming down here the second day, you could just return them right to the outfitter, which is right there. So that's an option too. It'd save another step later on. The daily activities, they're going to canoe, check out the boundary waters here. A lot of them want to check out, try to portage. Some are going to go fishing. Some are going to just kind of hang out. And I've told them all to kind of stay within reasonable distance of each other. We'll play some volleyball at night. They can do some hiking as well. So they're going to plan their activities with their group. Everybody's going to be on the same page. Nobody stays back. Life jackets must be on at all times on the water. They can't even have them unzipped or unbuckled. They have to be on all the time. They're going to stay within eyesight. So if groups are spread out a little bit fishing, we want to always kind of keep an eye on where each other are fishing or stopping for lunch or whatever. I've told everybody to bring a whistle in case there's an emergency. They can blow the whistle, and we can find them. Swimming is okay. I don't think too many kids will do it because it'll be raining and cold. But I want them to stay shallow, and there's absolutely no cliff jumping or diving into the water. Told them don't drink directly out of the lake. We're going to use a filter, and I'll have some of these for people to take, for each group to take. We got to use basically Nalgene bottles or reusable plastic bottles, and then encourage them to bring toilet paper too. I went through the chemical expectations here about the trip. There can be no chemicals or alcohol or tobacco. All school rules apply. So if they are found to have been in their possession or consumption of these things, I'll call their parents and arrange for transportation home. So they're very aware of this. We went through it in great detail this morning, and I don't think I have anything to worry about it. Never. I think every kid that's on this trip is trustworthy and will absolutely follow this rule. The biggest thing is the quiet voices after 9 o'clock. If anybody is really obnoxious and yelling, I'll move them closer so I can keep an eye on them. I'll sign them up for stove cleaning duty when we get back. There's a lot of good stuff I can put on their plate if they can't follow that rule. I'm going to say safe fires at all times, only light fires after dark, so they don't go through a lot of wood. Small knives are allowed only, no hatchets or machetes. Each night they put food away, either in the bus trailer or somewhere. If they have a lockable container, that's fine too. They can leave that out. They're going to clean their dishes, dispose of garbage, prepare for the rain, because it is going to rain probably both days. It might even be raining when we're packing up. Hard to say at this point. They can't go canoeing without a chaperone. There's no canoeing at night. They're going to return to the campground by 6 o'clock. The only exception would be if a group of kids wanted to go not very far away, kind of just canoe barely out into Seagull Lake and do some fishing, and be back well in time before it got dark. I'd be okay with that. And I've talked to them about being aware of ticks, kind of avoid walking up the trails in the woods and making sure they inspect for ticks every night. The ride home, a wake-up call at 6 o'clock. Hopefully they'll have a lot of stuff already pre-packed, and we can load the bus and trailer and head back by 7. And so any chaperones that need to get going early, I know John needs to leave a little bit early to get home for a meeting, I can just send you at that point. As long as I have one vehicle there in case we have a breakdown, we should be fine. They've been pretty good about giving us nicer buses for these trips since we've had some breakdowns. So let's see. I skipped over one here. When we arrive back, I'm going to have the kids start cleaning the last hour of the trip. They can just take turns sweeping under their feet, make sure the bus is clean, unload the trailer as a group, check all items, and then they can take off. So at that point, chaperones can just get their stuff and head out, and I can take it from here. Again, encourage them to pack everything by Wednesday night, pack all equipment by Wednesday night, using their list. And we're talking about having food bought by Wednesday, using blocks instead of cubes. And then anybody that wants to fish, you should get your fishing license before Friday, because they have a very slow internet setup up there, and they really need. He said it'll take a while to actually get it. So get it beforehand, and we should be all set. So that's about it right there. So hopefully that gives everybody a better idea kind of what to expect at this place. This is the first time I brought them to this particular campground, and I think it'll be just fine. I think there's a lot of really cool places to go check out. So feel free to email me, call me if you have any questions, and I'll be in touch in the meantime. Thanks a lot, everybody.